This is a video response to MykeruMedia's video thanks, and more specifically to those portions of the video which address the incorrect nature of the atheist response to feminist activism. While you are one of my favorite YouTube channels, and I often look forward to your videos coming out in my subscription feed, I find that your take on how atheists have dealt with feminism, and Atheism Plus specifically, is a little harsh. You seem to think that atheists could learn something from Gamergate. But what have we really learned from Gamergate? One, we have learned that feminists really love attention. They really love that attention, especially if that attention will give them additional victimhood. We've learned that they're more than willing to accept unwarranted fame, even going so far as to national media outlets. We've learned that there are plenty of white knights in the world, and the gaming world specifically in this case, who will be willing to step up and give that attention and fame and protect them from the supposed victimhood which they are receiving for all that attention and fame. Are these really things that we didn't know before or need to encourage? Besides the fact that we knew all this before, Gamergate has essentially thrown a spotlight on a particular group of feminists and the so-called antagonists, i.e. gamers. How effective has this been? Has it stopped feminists? Has it caused them to yell louder? Has the gamer community done nothing but give them exactly what they want: attention and an argument? Now you might say that's probably the best approach, or at least your video seems to say that, but it's not. Atheists and skeptics, not being totally mutually exclusive, have dealt with it another way for the most part. We've ignored them. Our feminist problem is self-contained. They did it themselves. We had to take no action. They have blogs and they have forums. We didn't push them off to them. They went there themselves. They sat themselves in the corner. We haven't obliged them, for the most part, with confrontations. Certainly in specific instances or specific cases, we've addressed issues that have arisen, but we haven't fed them like you would feed a troll. We've allowed them their space to do what they want. Unlike gamers, atheists are trying to achieve some form of political and social parity with the religious. Being diplomatic, showing that we can be tolerant and vigilant, is our best policy, and it is a policy that will help us achieve our goal of political and social parity. By not raising a ruckus with our feminist invasion, unlike gamers who don't have an issue with social or political discrimination, atheists have some concerns which are better addressed using quieter methods. Our feminist incursion, Atheism Plus, is still sitting there in the corner. Sitting there in the corner presents an advantage. They're a magnet for those individuals who are less rational, or, if they claim to be, skeptical. Just look at some of the big names that have been drawn off by this magnet. names like Aaron Raw or Matt Dillahunty. Not to mention all the little names such as Carrier or Myers or Watson. And they're free to pout in their corner as long as they wish. And they're free to continue to draw off the less rational and or less skeptical. I don't see the problem here. I think a policy of ignoring them is probably the policy the world should have been applying for the last 40 years. So I don't know what your issue is with that policy. Doesn't it seem more reasonable just to let them have their victimhood off in their little corner while not encouraging them with attention and argument, which is exactly what they want. The argument, the drama, the victimhood.